Hello, my name is Brian Grzinski and I'm a support engineer here at ScreenMeet. In today's video, we'll be covering the ScreenMeet installation inside of a Salesforce instance. In summary, we will be downloading an AppExchange application, setting up a service account user, configuring the service account user inside of ScreenMeet console, and then adding the ScreenMeet component to a page layout. To start, I've navigated to the organization that I'll be setting up ScreenMeet in. In this case, this is a developer org, but for you, it may be in a dev or stage or sandbox environment. The first thing we'll want to do is download the ScreenMeet application from the AppExchange. So we'll search for AppExchange up here in our filter list and navigate to the marketplace. Once we're in the marketplace, we'll want to search for ScreenMeet. And we'll click on the ScreenMeet option here. And we will click on the Get It Now button at the top left. Once this page loads, we'll be prompted to install this in production or in a sandbox, depending on your requirements. To proceed, we'll just install in production, as this is a developer org. Once you're redirected back to the instance itself, you'll be prompted to install this for admins, all users, or specific profiles. It'll be very important that you select the Install for Admins Only option when setting up ScreenMeet for the first time, as clicking the Install for all users or specific profiles will over-provision the ScreenMeet admin permission set improperly to users that should not have access. To proceed, we'll click on the Install option over to the right. We will grant access to the CSP and to our endpoints that we use as part of the integration, and we will press Continue. And the application will now install. You will receive an email from Salesforce once the app has fully installed. Now that we've received confirmation that the package has been fully installed, we'll navigate back to our Salesforce instance. We will see within the Installed Packages option inside of Setup that we now have the Remote Support ScreenMeet application. The next step will cover setting up a service account inside of Salesforce that integrates within the ScreenMeet application. This is a requirement, as the service account is responsible for executing backend commands and API calls for the ScreenMeet application. To continue, we will click on Users over to the left. And we will click on Users again. And we will click on New User. For this user, you can name it whatever you like based on your internal best practices. As a quick note, some organizations prefer to have all of their integrations external to ScreenMeet within one service account. This is not suggested, as this creates one central point of failure within that service account. For example, if the password expires, all of your applications and integrations may have issues, so we suggest making a separate service account for ScreenMeet specifically. Now that the service account has been made, we will need to make a custom permission set inside of Salesforce in order for this service account to work as expected. The reason for needing to make this custom permission set is because on a managed app install, we are not able to automatically provision these levels of permissions. To proceed, we will search for permission sets at the top left of Salesforce. Within this view, we will click on New, and we will name the service account permission set. Once we've named the permission set with the label and the API name, we can keep everything as is and press Save. Now that we've created this permission set, we will need to apply some system permissions within this permission set. To do so, we will scroll down to the bottom and click on System Permissions. Once you're in the system permissions, we will click on the Edit button at the top. And within this list, you will need 4 separate permissions. For ease of use, we will pin the 4 required permissions on top of the video right now. So if you'd like to pause the video to see those permissions, definitely feel free. But we will go ahead and add those 4 permissions now. The first one that we'll add is the Apex REST. The next one is right below that for API enabled. The third option is Customize Application. And the last option is Password Never Expires. The reason why we enabled the Password Never Expires option is because if your password for this service account expires in the middle of a business day, ScreenMeet will no longer work as expected as the service account is required for creating sessions. Now that we've added the 4 required permissions within this permission set, we will save it. After the permission set has been made, we will navigate back to our service account user that we created in the previous step. Within the profile for this service account, we will click on Permission Set Assignments, and we will click on Edit Assignments to add this set. Within this view, there are 2 permission sets that are required. There is one that we are able to pre-package as part of the installation, and there's the custom permission set that we just made. The first permission set is the ScreenMeet service permission set, which is the one that is included on the package install. And the second permission set is the service account system permissions that we created the custom permission for in the previous step. Once we've added the 2 permission sets, we will save this. And we will now move on to the next step, which is setting a password and a security token for this service account. The first thing that we'll do is set the password. After this has been done, an email will be sent to the service account email to proceed. We've received the email, so we'll now click on this link to set the password for this account. Now that we are logged in as the service account, we will click on the icon at the top right in order to generate a security token by clicking on the Settings option. To proceed, we will click on the Reset My Security option over to the left, and then press Reset Security Token. Please note that if you have IP restrictions within Salesforce, you may not see this option. If you encounter this, please reference the documentation in the link below to proceed. Navigating back to the email for the service account, you will receive a security token email. The next step will be to log into the ScreenMeet console in order to configure the service account, password, and security token that we just set up. In order for the ScreenMeet administrator to configure ScreenMeet, they will need the ScreenMeet admin permission set. Sometimes this is automatically inherited as part of your system admin profile within Salesforce, though if you need to add it, you can simply click on the ScreenMeet administrator's profile, navigate to the permission set assignments, click on Edit Assignments, and search for the ScreenMeet admin option. Once this has been added, we will click on Save, which will allow you to configure ScreenMeet within the console. To proceed, we will navigate to the ScreenMeet console, which is on console.screenmeet.com. Once you navigate to this page, you will be prompted with different login options. In this case, depending on if you are in production or if you are in a sandbox, you'll want to click the relevant option. We are now prompted to log in through Salesforce, so we will do so now. After logging into the ScreenMeet console for the first time, you will be prompted to allow access to the ScreenMeet application. To proceed, you will click on the Allow option. Now that we are in ScreenMeet console, we have an option over to the left with the organization settings and policies. To proceed, we will click on the Organization option, and then we will click on the Settings and Policies, and we will scroll down to the Salesforce integration option at the bottom. You will be prompted with a few options that the base requirement is to set up the username, security token, and password. To proceed, I will enter the security token, password, and username that I've set up for the service account previously. Now that we've added our service account username, security token, and password, we will proceed with the Save option, and then we will configure and validate the Salesforce organization below. Once you see that we were able to configure and validate the Salesforce org, the ScreenMeet console side is set up for base usage of the ScreenMeet application within Salesforce. As the Salesforce administrator, to add the component, we will navigate to an open case to get to the page layout. Once the page is loaded, we will click on the Setup option at the top right and click on Edit Page. Once we are in the page builder, we will want to search for ScreenMeet in the top left search bar. we have two options, the ScreenMeet session widget and the ScreenMeet files component. For ease of explanation, we will be adding both of these to the top right of this page. Please note that you can add the ScreenMeet files or ScreenMeet session widget within a tab or collapsible view. Now that we've added the two ScreenMeet components to this page, we will save and activate. Once we navigate back to a case, we will see that the ScreenMeet option is now visible at the top right of the page. From this point, sessions can be started and handled within this Salesforce instance. The last step is to add the ScreenMeet permission set to any agents that will be utilizing ScreenMeet. This can be done as part of a permission set or a permission set group, though for ease of explanation, we will navigate to a single user, click on Permission Set Assignments, Edit Assignments, and find the ScreenMeet role that is for the agent. As noted before, this can be done at scale using a permission set group or as part of a profile, though for the purposes of this explanation, we are just adding it to this specific user. This concludes the ScreenMeet and Salesforce integration. Attached in the video description below will be supplemental documentation that you can use if needed. Feel free to let us know if there are any questions, as we'd be happy to assist. Thanks and have a great day.